I suppose we'll just continue talking about people being suicided.
Yeah. No, I would like to make that a new term that we just
Suicide.
use.
It's when someone murders you and says you
when
killed
child
yourself,
rapists get murdered, when female, I guess whatever sex traffickers get caught, and then they get suicided.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they get suicided. They get suicided at the hands of other people.
Yeah, and then the government tries.
It's just helping you with your suicide.
They were.
Hey,
they committed suicide. They were just
suicide you.
assisted by the government.
I'm going to suicide you.
Bill Clinton's just pulling the strings here, my man.
Bill Clinton, big suicider.
Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are laughing. They're wringing their hands.
Yeah. Now, is there anything I can do to perpetuate my suicided? I need to piss somebody off or do something.
Oh, you want to get suicided by someone else?
Just rape a bunch of young girls, man.
Well, no, that's out.
Rape a bunch of 12-year-old girls, man.
Right,
You'll get suicided real quick.
All right,
and then start talking to the police about it.
All right, then.
Start telling people about the people that provide you with said
and they'll be suicide.
Small
there'll
women.
Be suicide on
the
menu.
Yeah,
there'll be suicide on the menu.
Suicide will be the main course.
Yeah.
Lord, I think it's time to get the show started.
There's
what do you guys think?
Special tonight. The in-house special is you being suicided.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Let's go, guys. Ready for the show. Let's do this. Welcome back, guys. This is the Is This Football podcast. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Dan. I'm once again joined by my lovely friends, Remdog Breachak, Edward Doyle.
Welcome back.
Yo.
We're back for another intense show.
Clearly.
Yeah.
We've got some news this week, though. Yeah. It's been dead for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
As far as,
NFL news, yes, there's more. Some news serious news this week, bro. You're not wrong.
Thank goodness for the last 12 hours, because it was nothing before then.
And like you said, in the next coming weeks, there'll probably be more stories about trades and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just heated up. I mean, it usually does following the Combine. The Combine is the start. It's not the official start, but the Combine is kind of the official. It just ended the week. But
did you see
all the NFL GMs are all there, so they all talk and stuff. You get a lot of trade buzz and cut, and they're gonna have to cut down.
They do that billionaire talk.
I'm gonna have to cut down over the next week before free agency starts to get under the cap. Yeah, so we're gonna see some action.
Speaking on that, I didn't even think about it.
Is this going to be Jordan Davis? The 350-pound defensive tackle that can jump 4 feet in the air.
Dude, didn't he run like a 4.5?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know if it was a 4.8, but for a guy who's 350 pounds.
He's 6'5", 6'6", 350 pounds, just probably the largest human being I think I may have ever seen.
He's locked in as a top 10 pick now.
I'd be surprised. I mean, the thing about this year's draft is I don't think there's
no superstars up top.
Well, there's no good quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are always the hot commodity.
Willis had a good
the one
combine.
guy, Ritter, that was the guy that I keep saying.
I don't even know that. Willis and Pickett, I saw.
Yeah.
Willis is supposed to be...
Pickett's the Pitt guy, right? The Pittsburgh guy? Is that not
Yeah, he's
Pickett?
Pitt with small hands. That was the big thing. He's got tiny hands, I guess.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Small hands.
But they said the same.
Smells like cabbage.
Small fingernails.
But they said they said the thing. But the same was that was the slight on Joe Burrow, wasn't it? That he's got small hands. Well, small hands nearly won him a Super Bowl.
I don't rember that being a Joe Burrow. I remember that being a Jared Goff thing, and also Jameis Winston. I remember Jameis Winston has small. That was the one thing when
Joe Burrow came out and said something about it because Burrow has like the same size hands as Kenny Pickett.
Oh,
so we'll see. Well, but at the same time, none of the quarterbacks in this year's draft have any of the. Yeah, but they don't have any of the tangibles or intangibles.
It's not about the size of the wand; it's the magic and the magician.
Exactly, everyone knows that. It's the motion of the sea, buddy.
The motion of the ocean, baby, not the boat. But yeah, no, the one dude, I think it was Taekwon something that ran. If it is official, it's a new combine record. He beat Chris Johnson's time. Did you see that?
I mean, that's not as much.
It was a 4.21. Well, that's news.
Listen,
it's a record that stood for 15 years.
But you can also be fast as fucking not good on the field.
Yeah, I did not say he was going to be an amazing football player. I'm just saying the fact that Deion Sanders, historically, he was so good, but he came into people knew he was going to be good.
Yeah,
that's all he did. He came into the combine, ran. That's the number one thing that people want to see. They want to see your 40 time. They don't give a shit about your cone drill.
We don't care about that. But I feel like the GMs that's what they're mainly
they'd like to see it, but you could perform terribly on every single measurable statistic in the combine.
That's not true.
I guarantee.
So you think the offensive linemen, they care about that? They care about
if an
three-cone drill is the main thing for linemen.
If an offensive lineman can run sub 4.5,
it doesn't matter as much, man. You're not really
about that.
I mean, not really. I mean, if you're going to put someone on the ground, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Other than offensive linemen, any other position on the field, the 40 is the number one measurable that they're looking for.
I'm not sure.
Name one other thing that they're measuring at the combine that you think is more important than the 40.
Like
for
I say,
any position.
like shuttle, three-cone drill, all that stuff, bench pressing, stuff like that. Like
nobody gives a I mean, the bench press, yes, that's obviously.
They do care about that.
Yeah,
and they're measuring.
Not
they're
more than the 40
up.
time. Nobody cares about anything but the 40 time. The 40 time is the number one thing.
Incorrect.
I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
That's fine. Let's just agree to disagree.
I just wanted to bring up the one guy who he did.
Jordan Davis was the biggest winner this year, or Jonathan. I think it's Jordan Davis.
I think it is Jordan Davis. But
I think Georgia.
He was one of the reasons Georgia had the dominating defense that they did.
I wonder what happens at the top of the draft this year because there's no true. Well, firstly, the Jags have Lawrence already. There's no way you don't give him 4 years at least. So they've got Lawrence already. They're probably going to try and trade out.
Urban Meyer quit, didn't he?
Yeah, they've got someone else. I don't know who it is, but they would love to trade out, but there's no way anyone's going to trade up to number one for either Willis or Pickett or anyone else out of the QBs. They're probably just going to have to take either one of the defensive ends. I think Thibodeau and Hutchinson are the big two, and then Evan Neal as well, the Alabama left tackle.
Yeah, this is one of those drafts where there's not.
It's actually pretty good to be in the 20s.
Yeah,
the 20s
there's not a lot of in a lot of drafts. There's like one or two dudes where
5 to 10, honestly, 5 to 10 blue chips.
Usually, there's one or two quarterbacks / running backs that are just like,
or tackles. Honestly,
it's rarely a defensive player that's like the guy where
Chase Young. I mean, you get your Chase Youngs, you get the
Miles Garrett, but that was a.
Exactly, you do get them. Man.
It happens. Like I'm not saying it's a never situation, but like a lot of times it's a quarterback.
It's almost always a QB.
It's always,
and it's never a running back. It's never a running back.
There,
it's never a running back. Running back, you don't draft running backs in the first round. That's how you sink your franchise.
Saquon Barkley was 2.
How did that work out? You do not.
Well, I think that's yet to be seen. What do you mean? He was really good until he got injured.
It's not yet to be seen, man.
Saquon Barkley?
They're looking to trade him. They're trying to trade Barkley. And they would be lucky to get a 4th round pick for him. They won't get a 4th round.
How was he before he got injured? He was
for 8 games?
No, he played.
He didn't play a full season.
He got injured towards the end of the season. I want to say it was like last 2 or 3 weeks. But when
you don't draft a running back, in the first
a healthy
round,
Saquon Barkley is an absolute.
I'd consider the top running back in the draft at
Derrick
25.
Henry.
When was he drafted? I don't know when he was drafted. That's what I'm saying. You can
4 or 5 years ago, but I think he was 2.
No, he wasn't in the top 10. No way. He might have been in the first round.
Derrick Henry wasn't drafted.
That's the thing. You don't draft running because you can get beasts of running backs in the 3rd.
Yeah, well, no, it's more about their longevity. It's like running
exactly.
A running back's an average running back's career is 2 to 5 years in the NFL.
It's 8 years, but it's 8 years.
An average running back?
I thought you meant like an average. Okay, I thought you meant the average for like
really,
good running backs.
A really good running back might make it 8 years.
And they get hit on every play as well. And they're also they're not as important as they were 15, 20 years ago. Because
it's a much more passer
quarterback driven game.
And
just
more
open
towards that college
wide open offenses. Look at Deebo Samuel, who's a wide receiver. He took the most running back snaps for the Niners last year.
Oh wow, you're right. He was 45th overall.
You don't draft running backs in the first round.
I remember Ezekiel Elliott went real high.
Yeah, he went like 5th.
Do you remember Trent Richardson for Alabama?
But those
Mark
are
Ingram.
But those are all backing
sure.
my points. Do you know what I mean? Alvin Kamara was a 4th round pick. and he's so good. Yeah. You don't take running backs in the... I would take a running back
I'm
maybe
agreeing
at 25.
That you don't take them there just because they're... I feel like to be a successful franchise, you have to have 2 or 3 solid ones. That's why I think the Bucs have had so much success. They have
and
Leonard
you build
Fournette.
The trenches.
Ronald Jones, I don't care what anybody says. Ronald Jones is an amazing running back.
But look at Tampa as well. Other
they
than
also
Tom Brady,
have Giovanni Bernard.
But other than Tom Brady, where are Tampa strong in the trenches? Yeah, they've got a top 5 offensive line, and they've got a top 5 defensive line.
May I ask a question of you guys?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we've all played fantasy football before. I played 3 seasons and then I stopped.
I just played this season second place.
So when you would pick your running back, I mean, where would your first running back be?
In fantasy football, running back should be 1-1. The first 5 picks should...
There's a difference.
Fantasy football. I'm talking about like in the NFL.
No, I'm just saying
a franchise.
The running back should be... The first 5 picks should be running back.
Well, like a good example, Christian McCaffrey. I know a healthy Christian McCaffrey should...
Okay, so here's the difference.
It was the same thing with Le'Veon Bell. When Le'Veon Bell was healthy, playing well, he's a number 1 pick in... simply because not only is he a running back, he catches passes, he scores touchdowns, he gets all types of yards. Those types of players,
so here's the difference
you absolutely have to take.
Here's the difference between real football and fantasy football. If you have Derrick Henry in the backfield and he's getting hit within a yard or 2, then as good as he is, he's not going to do much for you. You have to have trenches in front of him. If in fantasy football you're looking for volume, you're looking for a guy who's going to touch the ball 25 to 30 times a game.
Exactly.
Your Henry, stuff like that. That's why running backs
and also
are,
the team around that, like the trenches, who you have on the offensive line.
Yeah, but in fantasy football, it's all volume, man. Like you can have a middling running back in fantasy football, and still that can carry you to the championship. Yeah. Someone like
as long as they get the touches, but like I said, it's based on who's around them. If there's other
and the scheme,
if the scheme, how the coaches call plays and whether they. There's some coaches that are extremely pass heavy that rarely run the ball, and that
can be good as well for running backs if it's PPR. Look at guys
but that's only certain leagues.
Leonard Fournette isn't a huge volume guy, but he catches 10 balls a game.
He does.
That's 10 points right
and
there.
Leonard Fournette is also a goal line guy. Leonard Fournette won't touch the ball the whole way down the field. You get within the 2-3 yard line.
He made Ronald Jones fantasy irrelevant this year, and Ron Jones
he did, which I cannot express how upset I was.
I'm with
about
you
that.
that Ronald Jones. I mean, Leonard Fournette is good too, though.
Leonard Fournette is really good. I feel like he's a lot more brittle than Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones has had his injury troubles.
He was good. He was decent this year, though.
The year that the Bucs won the Super Bowl, I've said this. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Ronald Jones carried us to the playoffs. Leonard Fournette played amazing in the playoffs. That's literally where he got the name Playoff Lenny, is because he was the guy in the playoffs. But for 16 games up until the playoffs, the year the Bucs won the Super Bowl, Ronald Jones was the absolute the workhorse of that team.
Think about the best teams in the NFL. Give me the 5 best teams in the NFL.
Chiefs,
and they don't
Rams,
have to be perfect, but just 5 of them.
I would say the Bucs before.
Okay,
Chiefs.
Well, let's just use the Bucs from last year.
Bills,
let's use the Bucs
Rams,
from last year.
Packers, and Bucs. I guess. Bengals.
The best running back out of them is probably Aaron Jones. Probably, but even then, it doesn't really matter. It's all RB by committee. All of those teams are RB by committee.
But that's what I was just saying before. It's like you'd rather have 2 or 3.
Exactly. No, you're right.
You'd rather have 2 or 3 7 out of 10s than 1
but that's
10
why,
out of 10.
That's why you don't draft running backs in the first round.
Yeah, well, like I said, it goes back to what I said at first. It's about longevity. You have to be able, when you have one good run, that's why Derrick Henry got injured, is because when you have one dude that's just a beast, it's amazing. It's great to have, but if you run him every play, if that's the only option you have for offensive firepower,
they're going to shut that
he's
shit down,
going to get injured. He's going to get injured,
but it was really good for Tennessee. The hard play action really helped them.
Yeah, well, Derrick Henry's also a god.
He'll do that. Yeah, he's. We're back to Derrick Henry again.
Yeah, no,
this
I know.
This podcast should be called the Derrick Henry podcast.
Derrick,
I'm not going to stop bringing him
Honestly,
up.
There's a lot.
He is unbelievable.
He gets a lot of airtime on this.
He's unbelievable. The guy is just unbelievable. He's
Derrick Henry. If you'd like to come and be a guest spot on this podcast,
I can get him.
That hair is crazy.
I'll work on it.
It's the maddest hair.
That's another thing that I always was.
I don't really like it, to be honest.
Well, his isn't even that bad, but just like running backs with long dreads.
Yeah. Well, his isn't a dread. It's like a it's like a hornet's nest.
I think it is dreads that he pulls
together,
braids the dreads
for game day.
So he has tiny
crazy,
shitlocks, and he just
braids. It's like
crazy.
Two
it looks like a massive
braids.
Looks like a massive hornet's nest coming out of his. It's fucking crazy.
A little tie in the back, but I'm trying to think of the
I mean, Marshawn Lynch got his dreads pulled out.
Yeah,
on a touchdown.
Marshawn Lynch hard as a coffin nail. That man, he eats that shit for breakfast. He doesn't feel pain. That man is just another level.
Unbelievable, man.
But I know we got on a little tangent about running backs to draft and all that, but have we gotten a definitive answer on whether? I know that Rodgers tweeted that he did definitely tweet, I am playing for the Packers. I am coming back for the Packers, but he hasn't signed anything.
I read something.
Layman's, I heard he's playing for the Packers.
I read something.
Well, I've gotten 3 different messages.
I read something
in the last 24 hours. I've gotten multiple different
I read something today that all deals that are going through right now are subject to the new year starting, which is March 16th. So it could be. It's gonna, do you know what it is? Why he probably hasn't signed officially yet is for cap stuff, because they want to have somewhat of an open cap going in, and they don't want to.
You think Rodgers is going to take less money for cap space?
No, listen to me.
Okay.
If going into the new year, you have to be under the cap. So when March 16th start, if they're $5 under the cap, then they can sign Rodgers for $50 then. Yeah. And deal with it then. It's a gentleman's agreement that we're going to give you $50
they just upped it, didn't they?
What do you mean?
They upped the cap.
I know, but what I'm saying is, even if Green Bay's $10 million over the cap, right?
Use your cap until the year's up.
They have to cut $10 million worth of cap to get under it. Then they'll give Rodgers it the second day of the new year, and then they can deal with the rest of the bullshit the following year. You have to get under the cap to start the year. Same with Russell Wilson is not technically a Denver Bronco until the new year because
I get that
because of cap shit. Do you know what I mean?
No,
everyone has to be under the cap to start the year.
I feel like the Broncos are immediately a contender.
Absolutely, 100%. Although that division is fucking wild.
That division is wild. That's what surprises me, because the division he was in was arguably the best division in football.
Not anymore.
49ers, Seahawks.
Yeah.
Cardinals,
Arizona and Seattle.
Cardinals, Seattle.
49ers, Seahawks. The LA Rams.
Yeah, LA.
Super Bowl,
just the people that won the Super Bowl. But that was arguably the best conference in football.
Yeah.
AFC West a close second, but now that
the AFC West
now that Wilson, that is unarguably the best.
Yeah, it's not close at all, is it? I mean, you've got three top 7 QBs in that division. Yeah. You've got arguably number 1.
If you had to pick, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of easy. You take Mahomes.
It goes Mahomes, Herbert, Wilson. Oh.
Well, that's what I was
right now. For my franchise,
to
win the Super Bowl this year.
Maybe
Russell Wilson.
I would agree that it's a Wilson Herbert thing, but Derek Carr is very good.
Derek Carr's good, but I think the Raiders are an afterthought in that division now. Definitely.
I feel as a team, I think they might be better than the Chargers.
No, they're not.
The Raiders?
No, they're not.
I'd like to see the way they perform this coming season.
They're not better than the Chargers.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure the Raiders made it to the playoffs and the Chargers did not.
Right. That's true. But I still like LA better this year.
Herbert is an amazing quarterback. He's the next guy. I put him in the same category as Burrow, like the new flock of really good young quarterbacks. But as a team, I would take the Raiders over the.
It's not for me. I'd go Chiefs.
The Raiders' defense is better than the Chargers' defense.
They're not that good, really.
And Josh Jacobs is better. Well, I mean,
he's not better than Eckler. He's not better than Eckler at all. He's not better than Eckler whatsoever. Eckler is a beast. Eckler's a little fucking cannonball, bro.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, he's also small. I mean, neither one of them.
Yeah, but he's a pass catching monster.
Stout. Yeah, no, he does. He does catch a lot of passes. He is good, but
he can run between the tackles.
What is it? Haller? Who's the Waller? Darren Waller. He's
Derrick or Darren? Darren,
I think it's Darren, but as far as tight ends in the league,
he's good.
Darren Waller is an absolute.
He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver. He's a massive wide receiver. He's not a blocker. He doesn't block for shit.
We will get into a little bit more NFL talk. We got a couple other fun segments coming for you guys. We're going to take a little break. As you know, Remy needs his fix. Got to smoke a little. We got to get the nicotine in this guy. He's going to start shaking over here. But Don't go anywhere. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back shortly. We're just going to take a short little break here.
All right.
We'll be right back, guys.
Thanks.
Love ya.
I'm going to start this segment. Welcome back. Welcome back,
just
everyone.
Cut me
I'm
right
start
off
this segment.
there.
I don't want you to
Go
start this
ahead,
segment because I want to get straight into the shit.
Go ahead.
Welcome back, everyone. Right.
Is that Edward, by
Viking
the way?
charge.
No.
But no, what we're going to do is, because this will tie in nicely with what's been going on in the NFL. We've had two huge quarterback movements today.
Yeah, it's massive.
Obviously, a re-signing.
One of them wasn't a movement.
It was still a movement in the NFL.
It was stagnant,
well,
but
it's
a big deal. I know what you meant.
In regards to Green Bay retaining.
No, I know what you meant.
Anyway, we've had a lot of that.
Guys, welcome back to Is This Football?
Yeah.
Every Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from Tiger Kennel C. Yeah, guys.
Now that that's out of the way, let's fucking go.
Okay,
right.
Let's go.
Everyone knows, well, people should know that Josh Allen has the strongest arm in the NFL, that's really it shouldn't be questioned by anyone, but I personally think he's the best quarterback in the NFL as well.
I don't know anybody that doesn't think that you think that. Everybody knows exactly how you feel about Josh Allen, which if I was a Bills fan, I'd probably think the same thing. I just feel like too often times you don't remove yourself from the personal
I've tried to remove myself, but I've just seen so many amazing things that I can't.
Sit back objectively.
I can't objectively look at it anymore.
I can't objectively look at it. But that's my point, is that you are incapable of seeing the overall picture of the quarterback situation in the league, and you're just so... Josh Allen is an amazing quarterback.
He's so good.
He's a phenomenal, incredibly talented. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can run, he can do all types of shit. To say that he is the hands down by far best quarterback in the league, I feel like is premature.
The only one I give you right now is
Patrick
Aaron
Mahomes.
Aaron Rodgers is the only one I give you right now.
I'd say Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are both better.
They're both fighting out for second. I'll give you that.
No, they're beating Josh Allen for first and second. Josh Allen in the next 2 or 3 years continues on this trajectory, could easily be that guy, unarguably. But right now, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving it to you.
Look at Mahomes' weapons.
We never, Eddie. How many times have we argued about this?
I know. Let's not do it. I just wanted to get that in really quick.
Everybody knows. Just for the record, Eddie thinks Josh Allen's the greatest human being of all time.
I do.
I'm a huge fan. It's a matter of record.
I'm a massive fanboy.
Like I said, I wanted to touch a little bit on Calvin Ridley. I know we've talked a lot about in this podcast about very rich, famous athletes just doing the dumbest shit in the world and just completely shooting themselves in the dick, foot, head, whatever you want to say. Can't stop stepping on their own dicks, but just got it. Is it a 1 year suspension? 1 year suspension from the NFL, which I believe means he won't be making any money. I would imagine he will not. I think he won't be getting any money for. I just saw that it was gambling.
He was betting on.
He was betting on Atlanta Falcons games. I would imagine.
Well, and others too, but yeah.
Well, if you're on, you're not allowed to gamble.
You're not allowed to gamble on anything. You're not allowed to gamble on anything.
Okay,
I don't know if it's. I'm sure you can gamble on the rest of sports.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no way they can regulate that. Like if you're betting on baseball
not
or
allowed
something.
To gamble on.
Well, I just wasn't sure if you're able to bet on. Well, because I mean, if you're betting on other teams and other games, why does that really matter?
I understand that.
Why would that matter? But if you're betting on your own team, especially on potentially your yards, carries, touchdowns, stuff like that,
probably because they know each other, the players know each other, and there can be some.
What do you think he's going to talk? He's going to talk somebody else like, hey man,
I'm not saying that.
If you get less than 80 yards, man, I'll make But that's goes.
I understand why you. I do understand why you're not allowed to.
I get it. Oh no,
but I do want to say, which is something that is ridiculous, is you can be fully charged and sentenced as a domestic abuser, serial domestic abuser, and get a 4-game ban.
Yeah,
but you get
if that.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
domestic
abuse.
That's a serial. domestic abuse. I'm talking Greg Hardy got a 4-game ban for like beating the shit out of his wife. And
he
like,
did that multiple times.
With a gun.
He beat women on several occasions. He got signed by the Dallas Cowboys.
He's ended up in the perfect place for that, to be fair. But
beats people professionally. Yeah. He got really good at it based on beating his wife, and now he does it for a living.
There's a few female suiciders in the UFC. There's multiple. Tony Ferguson says hi.
Oh my!
But no, it's kind. I understand that they have to take a hard stance on it, but like 16 games, a full year, like that's a lot. Yeah, man. It's a lot for me.
Well, I mean, think it's too much. They pick and choose what they do with certain players for different things. But
I think it's too much.
For me, it comes back to the fact, like Calvin Ridley. I don't know if I'd say like elite, but he's a really
he was a rookie this year, I think.
Yeah, right? and was really good.
Yeah, but then he's had that mental health check. He played like 6 games, bro, and then like was like, this is too much for me.
He played more than 6 games, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he didn't play too many more than that. If he played a half season, that was the most. And that was his rookie year.
I could have sworn to God he made it to week 10 or something like that. But
it might have been
everything I saw of him, any bit of it, he was a good quality wide receiver.
Was he drafted in the first round? I don't know.
I don't remember when he got drafted, but just...
But no, it is crazy, and the fact that they're willing to take a...
How much money could you possibly be making?
And also, why do you need to do it on the NFL? There's so many betting platforms, man. You can bet on anything.
I mean,
you can bet on anything. You can get a price on what color hat the Queen's going to wear tomorrow.
That could potentially ruin his career. Him being out for an entire season.
I'm sure he's not even allowed to in the facility.
Him being a rookie is what's like, you're not established. Yeah. You're not the guy.
His only saving grace is that he tore it up for 8 games. Because if he did nothing and people would have written off as he's a rookie, but if he did nothing and then he'll get another shot.
Act like he'd been there for a minute.
Yeah, he'll get another chance. Or just fucking gamble on something else. You can gamble on anything. I have like 6 or 7 gambling vices.
I mean, it seems like weekly we're talking about something else.
This would have tied in with a couple weeks ago when we were talking about dumb shit that sports players do.
Oh, fucking Henry Ruggs, man, goddamn! Like, what do you think?
Yeah, what was he?
But the domestic violence stuff is obviously the number one. Like,
but just the fact that they're not willing to take
weed.
Just the fact that they're not. I know those two things. Like,
so that stuff. Like
the fact that you're not going to be.
I smoke weed all the time.
The fact that
I don't play in the NFL.
The fact that you're not going to be hard on like physically hurting someone else. But you are going to be hard on gambling and smoking weed. It's just fucking ridiculous. But the NFL is a dumb fucking
in the last like 2 years, they've definitely lightened up. Like, you can still be suspended for smoking weed, but like it's not the way it was 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, you get caught smoking weed.
Weed isn't the way it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's actually true. You've got to evolve with the times. You know what I mean? Weed is essentially decriminalized. It's decriminalized in the Western world.
But that's my point. Is like just
and now you have weed cards and dispensaries
exactly.
and all
this shit. It's essentially decriminalized.
It doesn't matter if you don't. Even if you have a prescription, you're not allowed to smoke weed in the NFL. That's not a thing. You're not. It's not.
I was only saying weed has grown so much.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like domestic abuse is domestic abuse. They're never going to lighten the legal restrictions on that. Like, you're a criminal if you do that. But just like the amount, and then like traffic offenses too, just people getting like driving on a suspended license, which I've had.
Some of them are
I know a little bit about that.
Some of them are fucking dumb though. Some of them are dumb though.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. Okay, listen. If you get a DUI and you blow like 1.2, like, that's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not like, I don't think that's a big deal. But like, if you get a DUI, you blow 1.2, you got a loaded gun, which you don't have which is, bro, you laugh at that, but so many
I'm
NFL
only
players
laughing
have a
because
loaded
it's so
gun.
true.
It's so
and
all
it's
the time. And then you've also got a pound of weed and half an oz of fucking cocaine. Like, what do you think is going to happen with that? Do you know what I mean?
You're just trying.
I understand having a good time. That sounds like a good time.
Like I said, I don't know if I've spoken about it before on this podcast. I think there should be a league-wide like organization where it's like, once you are actually signed to a football team, you're not allowed to drive a car. Yeah. Just in general, the amount of the billions of dollars.
How cheap is it to have a personal driver?
I know.
Or just
it can't be any more than $100 grand. It can't be any more than $100 grand.
Make a deal between the NFL and Uber where whatever the NFL players don't ever have to drive anywhere for anything.
That'll cut down on literally 70% of the stories.
Oh
we
my
hear about.
God, so much. If NFL players, while you're actively on a roster, you're on a contract, you do not. I don't care if you're going down the street from McDonald's. Get a goddamn Uber.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Call your friend. Get somebody to drive you.
We're now in the next 4 months are now the prime time for some dumb shit coming out of NFL players.
Yeah, they've got way too much time on their hands.
They're not in the building for
got
another
way
3 months.
too much time.
There's going to be some mad shit going on.
Before we get into more sports-related stuff, I know we kind of briefly touched on it, but I wanted to kind of just bring up I don't know if you've thought anything on this, Remy, but just kind of a fun segment.
Hey, before we get into that, dude, I have to say, on the camera, dude, nice ink, man. It's looking really good. Like the ink is looking really good. Honestly, like I like the way it looks. The ink, I mean, it adds a whole. Guys, look at Dan's new tattoo, man. I had no. See, we're really good friends.
I appreciate
we're really
you
good
calling
friends,
it
right?
ink.
We're pretty good friends, right?
I don't really like you that much.
I had no fucking clue you were getting a tattoo.
You kind of pissed me off.
He brings the equipment to the podcast.
And you're like, I didn't tell you I was getting this tattoo. I was like, no, motherfucker, I have not heard anything about this tattoo.
I made the appointment in November. I just assumed that at some point...
We had never brought it up, and you just showed up with
I'm
zero
sorry,
tattoos.
Remy.
And then, no, I love it. I love the ink. The ink looks really good.
I wish I would have kept you in the loop. I apologize, and thank you for repeating the word that... Like I said, I was just something non-sports related that I was going to bring up. It's just words and phrases that kind of rub me or you the wrong way. And since getting the tattoo, my lovely... ink, as Remy likes to put it, that is something that I don't know why, it's just a little pet peeve of mine, but whenever I'm places and people like,
and I don't call it that,
he's trying he's yanking my chain on that one, but whenever people are like, oh, you got some new ink, dog?
It's never usually dog either, because it's always old people.
I've gotten the dog. People. Well, I've gotten it from old and young. People like, oh, let me see the ink, bro.
Actually,
show me the ink.
No.
Let me get a little taste of that ink, bro. I'm like, don't let me.
So I have one which I absolutely hate. But just while we're on tattoos, whenever people who are thinking about getting a tattoo and have none are like, oh, let me see your tattoos, and then they look all over like the shit that's on display, and they're like, I've been thinking about getting this, and they show you a picture and it's like 3 symbols that are this big, and they're like, do you think it will hurt? It's like, I've had a 5-hour session on my neck, so like I don't think it will be anything similar to that.
Well, I guess it's very filled into my shoulder too. No, it is a large piece, but I expected this to hurt a lot worse. I remember.
That's a good part of the arm.
The one thing I do have to say is he started from the bottom, worked his way up, but
now he's here.
The back of my.
I gotta give it to Eddie on that one.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, good one. The back of my shoulder, like the whole thing, I was like, man, I thought this was going to hurt way worse. Like, for some reason, this little, like, just the back
side
of my...
next to the boat. You're right next to the
armpit. You're getting close to the armpit. That's a tenderoni.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, he did, like, all this stuff.
I think about the amount
of,
like, muscle and fat that is there. Do you know
Ladies and gentlemen, you really got to watch the YouTube show to see the whole thing. And this is YouTube.
I know you guys are lost right now.
If you're not actually going in live every Tuesday night, every Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch us live and catch a whole bunch more shit that we edit out. But then, of course, every Wednesday around 5 p.m. latest, I will have the YouTube video up, so make sure you watch that.
Let me move into like what I absolutely fucking hate.
Yeah, no, that's what I brought this up. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on just things that you dislike, and
I hate it so fucking much.
Let us know, Edward.
When someone says thank you much. It fucking bothers me so much.
That's an interesting thing to get out.
Yeah, I've never. That's not on my radar at all.
Absolutely hate it.
I mean,
thank you much.
Yeah.
Thank you much.
Really, that upsets you?
I think it might be just an American thing, because I don't think I've ever heard that anywhere else. But I absolutely hate it.
Thank you much.
Yeah, honestly.
Thank you much.
I'm immediately judging you. So you say, I'm like, I can never ever hang out.
So like, what sect of people would you say?
I think it's I'm not sure if it is.
That's what I was thinking. It is.
No, is it not? Am I wrong?
No,
Please.
I don't think it is. I think it's like I think it's edgelords. I think edgelords move the words around.
What's an edgelord?
It's someone who is like so obsessed with being edgy, even though they're not. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
They're desperate to be edgy.
Well, you are English, so you put lord at the end of it.
Yeah.
So
But no, I fucking hate that shit.
The overlords of edginess.
I'll tell you guys about who does this all the time. I don't want to do it live on air because he's a lovely guy. It's not anyone we know.
Well, now you have to say
I can't do it on
Edward.
Air. It's not anyone we know. It's not anyone we... It's someone we know. It's not someone we hang out with.
If it's someone we don't know, then why do you give
It's a Noble Cross patron.
Then just say it.
It's a Noble Cross patron.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the Ridley.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, lovely guy.
Yeah.
Really lovely human being.
A Riddler.
Honestly. Really lovely.
Great guy.
But just a really lovely guy. And honestly, just a really... But the fact that he said that, I was like, I can't stand you. I'm sorry.
I mean...
No, not reasonable. Great guy.
He's a lovely guy.
Just
such a lovely guy. But he's also an edgelord as well.
He does...
he's an edgelord.
He does come...
He's a unique...
He religiously comes...
All right, let's not try and do too much shaming online. Let's just zoom over. Remy, what do you not like?
Okay, my biggest one is...
Because we're still covert right now. We're covert right now, and you're about to blow the mission.
I was going to mention the comics,
No, Dan, shut up. You're about to blow the mission,
I just said comics.
Remy, go ahead.
It's kind of I can't with, or I can't.
Oh,
even,
I know what you mean. Like
basically,
I know
a formation of I can't even.
I can't even.
I can't with the noise outside of my apartment.
Yeah, I can't with
this waitress doing this thing.
I
just can't.
I'm not
with
gonna
this.
lie. I have used that before. I'm not.
I've used it too. I've used it too. But no. But I'm saying. It's like just say the goddamn sentence. I can't deal with this thing that the waitress is doing instead of I can't with the waitress and her hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
I get it a little bit.
That's mine. Mine.
Megan has a good one, which is definitely more like there's more reason for it because the three of ours are like they're just
very
things
reasonless.
They're just things that fucking rub us the wrong way, which I suppose is
that's why I brought
that
it
is
up.
the topic. But
it's
Megan
not
has a good one,
things.
and it's,
these people aren't monsters. But
no, I know some of them. Yeah.
Well,
but Megan has Megan has a good one, which isn't really. There's reason for it. It's like when middle-aged men tell young women to smile.
Oh,
and
God,
it's
dude,
fucking
that's
bang
the most
up.
that's one of the most condescending things I've ever heard.
I fucking hate that shit too, to be honest.
I've heard that in public
horrible,
being said from one
person.
Yeah, or smile, it ain't that bad.
You'd be, like, or no,
it's about to be that bad for you.
It's about to be
that bad for you. No, he's about to say it.
The one where they're like, you'd be really pretty if you smiled.
That's it.
That one, like, oh, you'd be really cute if you smiled more.
I feel like, and it's, oh yeah, honestly.
How dare you,
that's fucking retarded, dude. It's retarded. Sorry to use that vernacular, but that's just retarded.
But still, man, that shit is so bad. Like, and Meg says that because she gets that a lot because she has got an angry face sometimes.
She's got
it's nice.
RBF.
It's nice though.
I only see her when she's with you, and she's always glowing. So,
but you only hang out with us every now and then.
If you want, if you want a woman to put on more of a scowl, say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you think she's got a frown on before you said that, say that, and then you will. You think her face is in a weird way before you said that. Lord Almighty, that's the worst. So
the funny story, which was like the main thing of this, was the car broke down when I was at work when I worked on the beach, and Meg was walking and it was like 100 degrees, like straight Florida August shit, and she was walking by like a bar. The car's broken down, smoking on the side of the road, and she's walking by like really upset anyway, and then like. A middle-aged, I'm guessing it was a middle-aged man. It wouldn't be anyone under the age of 45. Surely not. Yeah. I mean, it just wouldn't have been. But I was thinking of a scenario where it could have been, but it wouldn't be. But and they were like shouted from the bar, like, "Hey, smile! It's not that bad." Like, what the fuck?
Well, see, that's always like, it's terrible.
It's like bumper sticker shit.
Yeah, honestly. It's terrible in any form or fashion, but the weirdest and most, like, I don't even understand it, is when guys that are, like, hitting on a girl
and they're old enough to be their father. Yeah,
like
well.
a guy will be, like, hitting on a girl, like, trying to impress her or something. It's like, you should smile more.
Let me just offend this person and see how it goes. This is a definite...
You'd be real pretty.
Some guys get a lot of luck with being assholes. This is a serious...
I don't know if being directly a cunt to people is the way to do it.
I don't know if I've ever seen that
work,
man.
I
don't know if I've ever seen that one.
When is your opening gambit... How is your opening gambit ever going to be that? And how can you expect any sort of form of success?
A lot of daddy issues.
Yeah. If there weren't a choker, then that's just a telltale sign right there.
Just it's the world we're living in.
Swiftly move on.
Speaking of moving
but
on.
Just the other one, which I know we already kind of talked about, but just Sweetie and Honey, Sweetheart and Honey.
I don't mind it. I think it's quite nice. I think it's quite nice.
Now, I call a lot of women darling.
See, I've just...
You say darling?
I think it's...
Darling.
I've like...
Usually they're within a certain age group, and they love it. They eat it up.
Wait, are they... What age group is this?
Maybe
it's the Karens.
50 to 70.
It's the big Karen.
Well, you know what? Actually, let me put this out there too. It's a very common thing in England to refer to a woman as love. Mm-hmm. So that comes out of, like, I say that all the time.
I've heard you say that
I say it all the time. Yeah. Thanks, love. Cheers, love. Do you know
Every
what
time I try, it comes out like Ringo, so I just...
Yeah, it does. It's not for the American... It's not for the American tongue. It's an English thing.
I feel like that's worlds different than sweetie.
Oh, no, it's nice.
Any woman I've ever met, if you say sweetie
it's a definite term
to a woman...
It's a definite term of endearment to say love. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get it. I have heard you say that a bunch, and I always am kind of like, huh.
But do you know what I mean? But with an American accent, it probably wouldn't sound right. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, nothing sounds better with an American accent. I mean, any words you could possibly utter sound a little bit better with an English accent. I mean, it's the gift you were given, Edward.
That's right.
Having that English accent, you son of a bitch.
Growing up in Crewe has paid off quite.
That's the only reason you're in that chair and I'm in this fucking producer chair.
Too bad it's not an Australian accent.
Horrible accent.
You'd be in the money. You had an Australian accent.
Before we end this segment, I just want to say that is a honking, disgusting accent.
You said that last time, or you said that at some. I don't know if you were on the podcast.
It's the worst possible accent,
dude. Margot Robbie might be the hottest woman in the world, and the accent amplifies it so much. I don't know.
There was someone in the bar the other day, and
I love it.
I'm just good here to St. Pete, and I'm just looking for something to do. And I was just wondering if you could possibly. I was going to see if you could possibly recommend some stuff for me. And I was just
that's your Australian.
No, without
I know. I did a
cigarette
bad one
after that.
I know. We both did bad ones. Guys, thank you for joining us again. We're going to take a little break here. Remy's going to smoke a cigarette. We're going to have a little... we're going to take a moment. Thank you for joining us. Do not go anywhere. Promise me that. But we'll be right back, guys. Thank you.
What is it? Just a
What's
toilet?
up, guys? Welcome back to the Is This Football podcast. Thank
you. Is this football?
There's been some.
Is this football? We talked a little bit about football.
If you're on the pre-YouTube show, there was not a lot of sports talk going on.
Wow.
Some good sports, but not that exciting.
You guys really make sure you tune in every Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, because we
some serious trenches talk.
Literally 20 minutes of extra show
some
that
soldier
you just
talk.
missed.
Some soldier talk.
If you're not watching the YouTube, you're cheating yourself, because you're missing out on just some content. Like, I swear to God, you've never heard.
It will not make it to the show.
It's unbridled. It's unbridled, man. It's an unbridled stallion. That's the difference. The best way to put it into an analogy is the podcast.
Well, is the podcast off the bridle? Or
no, that depends.
No.
Okay, so listen. The podcast show, the Spotify, whatever, your content show, your platform, your platform show,
the edited version.
That's a bridled horse. It knows the reins. It can react to the reins. That YouTube shit that's an unbridled stallion. That's an unbroken stallion. That's an unbroken stallion.
It's quality stuff, but I feel like if that was public, if that was on the actual show, we'd get canceled pretty quick.
It's just not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Just talking about penises.
That's right. Every Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on YouTube. Go to Tiger Cage Media.
Come get you some unbridled stallion. Come get you some unbridled stallion.
And also, guys, make sure you're out there listening to our sister podcast. They call us The Breeze. That is every Thursday night at 6:30
Probably less
p.m.
unbridled
Eastern
stallion,
Standard Time. Yeah.
A
little less unbridled. And then we come out with that show every Monday. It's all part of Tiger Cage Media, babe.
Let's go. Let's go. That's actually just as good as
Tiger. You like
How about a Viking charge?
I'm getting better.
How about Viking charge?
You really want the Viking
charge?
No,
it's too long.
I'm sorry.
He deleted it. He deleted it a few episodes ago. So
didn't do anything of the sort.
He would never.
But I'd like to.
He knows the respect that you have for the Viking charge.
If I had the ability, I would.
He let me keep this one.
I would burn that to the ground if I had the option.
He let me keep the Raptor.
Are we waiting for a sound right now?
No. Evidently not.
Yeah,
that's a raptor. That sounds like a bird.
Well, no,
right,
it's a turtle having sex.
We got some content. Let's go for some content. That's a what the fuck is that?
That's
shit?
a turtle
That's the
having
raptor.
sex. It's a turtle
Correct.
sleeping with another turtle. It's sweet turtle lovemaking. Is what it really is. It's the sweet lovemaking of a turtle. Over the last weekend, we had I'm not gonna lie.
It was a poor card.
It was a
poor card on paper. It was.
Well,
it was.
check out the
no men's title fight.
Let me speak. I was very prepared and excited for that main card. It wasn't a title fight, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad card. It just means there wasn't a championship on the line.
I need a men's title fight.
Oh, well, God knows we got to please you. Make sure you get all your needs met.
The good news is the next one's got 2. So
well, yeah, but I was kind of pumped for the Covington Masvidal fight. I was like, I'm
always ready for Masvidal to fight, and then he fucking shits the bed.
This is the last time I put any faith in
Bro,
that
him
man.
and McGregor will be a great fight. It's not announced, but it will be.
What?
Well, if you go back to last episode, you guys were talking about the fight. You were hyping it up. You were talking about what you thought might happen.
I knew Covington would win in a decision. I knew that. I told you that at the end of the first round.
And I agreed.
I know, but I'm just saying I knew that shit would happen.
Leading up to it, I was like, Covington's going to win, but I'm excited because I think it's going to be a good fight. I thought it was a solid matchup.
But Covington is a mini Usman. Yeah. Covington's a mini Usman, and we saw how Usman fucked. Yeah, he is, bro. They're the exact same skill set. No way. Usman's a wrestle fucker.
Well, also, just a brief moment. Did you count that as a takedown? The Covington Usman takedown? It blemished.
Yeah, it was.
Blemished.
Yeah, that was a takedown.
It was like a knee
it still
takedown.
Happened. It was a takedown.
I don't even think he was on his back.
It was a takedown.
But when I first saw it watching the fight, I was like, oh yeah, no, he got taken out. But the more it's a
takedown to me.
Was he on his back? Was he on his back?
It was a takedown to me.
Was he on his back?
It was a takedown to me.
Usman his back.
I think it should be scored.
Can you answer my question?
I can't remember, honestly.
Usman was not on his back. He kind of.
I do remember seeing
did
it.
Like a back knee thing where it's like he went
to be
down.
Talking about takedowns, Covington had a beauty against Masvidal.
Which one?
It was in round one. Oh yeah,
one of the 30.
But the one I'm talking about, it was like Masvidal threw a right cross. He fully ducked it.
I watched the whole fight.
I know, but full 2-legger straight onto his back. It was an absolute thing of beauty. But going on, continuing with that fight, obviously, Masvidal's got the same situation. He's McGregor light, isn't he? Well, he's McGregor light. He's a big talker. He's a bit of a street guy, but he's not the guy he was. He's never even reached the height that McGregor ever did. But they're the same fighter.
I don't think any UFC fighter is going to get to McGregor as far as.
And you mean in terms of celebrity? I'm talking about
McGregor demands more.
He's still the biggest draw in the UFC.
Exactly. And he's washed.
But I don't mean oh, he is washed. But I don't mean
so is Masvidal.
But I don't mean I don't mean celebrity height. I mean height of fighting. At one point McGregor was arguably maybe not the pound for pound one, but he was definitely the best lightweight.
When he beat Aldo, when he chinned Aldo in the first 10 seconds,
he was fucking unbeatable in my eyes.
That was his pinnacle.
Yeah.
And he got that Floyd Mayweather bag, and I think the money went to his head.
It's not even that, man. It's not that.
Because I think that had something to do with it. I think that had something to do. Well,
it's the fact that he can't deal whatsoever. Well, at the time, he couldn't deal with a wrestler. That's why Habib had his way with him.
He still can't.
No, I know, but he'd never fought. Well, he fought.
Nobody could take him
down.
He
fought Chad Mendes and nearly lost.
They could, but he didn't. But very few people could get past his striking. To get him down, you have to get past his hands.
But now,
were lethal.
And are still lethal to an extent. I mean, he's still got that atomic left hand.
Was lethal.
He's still got the atomic left hand. Although, to be fair, DP fucking fully ate that shit.
Yeah, but that's my point, is that Dustin Poirier
I know, that's what's so worrying about it. That's what's so worrying about for McGregor.
Absolutely dismantled
And I think you have to think, let's not make this a McGregor thing. But just final thing on it, I think he's focusing too much on his celebrity status, because there's no way McGregor at the age of 32, 33, maybe 34, I don't know what he is.
Let's call him 33. My age. I think he's 32. Right? I want to say he's 32, but right around early 30s. Yeah.
There's no way at that age in mixed martial arts your left hand should completely lack the power that it once did.
Well, no one's arguing his left hand.
Dustin Poirier is arguing that shit because he fucking ate that shit and kept moving forward.
Yeah,
and then pieced him up.
Also, I remember because his leg did get broken.
Oh, maybe he doesn't have the...
Well, but that was the thing that somebody... I read somewhere that he had attempted a leg kick and Dustin Poirier checked it with his shin, and that's when it actually broke. That's when it broke and splintered, and then a couple minutes later, that's when it really broke.
That is a plausible...
But that's
a plausible explanation to why
that's what I was attributing that to, because it's like, when you punch anybody, it starts with your feet.
Of course.
If you're going to have...
Feet and hips.
Feet, legs, and hips, that's how you...
That's where you generate your power.
You punch with your hands, but
you generate your power in your lower half.
That's where it starts. And if you don't have full capability of your legs,
of course. And it makes a lot of sense, and it does make a lot of sense. And I'm not completely ruling Conor out from another title shot. I'm not. He needs to win a couple fights first. He needs to win a couple fights first.
I thought you meant coming back.
Bro, the word today is that. Think about the...
He should never... I will lose all respect for UFC if he gets a title shot.
Oh, what? You had respect for them? They're a fucking joke of an organization. But the fact that... So listen, the perfect fight right now is Masvidal McGregor. It's so perfect. McGregor can come up to... They're both shit talkers. Yeah. They're both huge draws.
You're talking as far as like hype and like...
Yeah.
Well,
and they're also both...
After they're both
losers
fight,
as well.
Man,
they're both losers as well.
Pre-Covington fight, yes. I would say you're absolutely right, because like I said...
Cov's the number one. He's the number one contender in that division. Yeah. Like, Masvidal had no right beating Covington in that fight.
But I'm just saying...
And he fucking sat him down as well. I know you tried to tell me he didn't earlier. He sat him down, and Covington was fucking shook.
Sit him down.
Bro, he sat him down. Covington was on his ass in that fight. And do you know what? The reason that Masvidal couldn't finish him was because he got fucking wrestle fucked for 4 rounds prior. Yeah. And he had no energy. So fair enough. Covington put in the work before it, but he sat him down. Right cross was perfect. All
I'm saying is my respect and admiration for Masvidal pre versus post fight. Like pre-fight, I was like, Masvidal he's a warrior.
Yeah.
He is a warrior. No, he's a warrior. He had incredible grit, but after
he is a warrior. No, he's a warrior.
After watching him just get absolutely bitch slapped by Covington for 5 rounds. Yes, you're right that there was a brief moment in the fight where he caught Covington. He's
got no tank. That's the problem.
Covington stood right up. He caught him in the chin. Covington hobbled for a second. He was on fucking sea legs. He was stepping in potholes. And then he stood right up and was fine.
He was stepping in potholes for a good 30 seconds, man.
30 seconds?
He was shook for 30 seconds.
Not at all.
The only problem is that Masvidal had no tank. He'd been beaten so badly for 4 rounds.
Which is why I have no respect for Masvidal leading to any...
If you get beaten for 20 minutes and ground out...
If you're a UFC fighter...
25 minutes of fighting is 10 hours.
I don't care.
Bro, you've been in fights. I've been in fights.
I have.
25 minutes of fighting is 10 hours in real life.
So you don't do a little bit more conditioning?
Different tanks for different people,
in my opinion, in UFC and all MMA, all mixed martial arts, all fighting, it's 50% skill and 50% how long,
more durability.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's the engine that you
stamina.
Have.
Yeah,
it's stamina. It's engine. It's how long you can go.
But when you get wrestled,
can you be on your back with someone elbowing you in the face?
When you get wrestled
for 15 minutes and then get up and do anything?
When you get wrestled, exactly. So like you can't really.
And he
blame
couldn't do anything.
What do you mean?
You can't blame him.
He's been wrestled fucked for 20 minutes.
You had months to prepare for that fight, and you just absolutely have shit the bed.
You're into the 20th minute of a mixed martial arts combat.
20 minutes.
That's fucking 10 hours in real life.
You're a professional fighter.
I mean, Masvidal is probably the least professional person on the roster.
Okay.
He's a backyard brawler.
I'm not talking about him as... I'm saying you are paid by the UFC lots and lots of money to fight on television professionally. You cannot figure out a way, whether you're jogging or something like that.
I don't think there's any way you can blame a man.
Correct.
Covington is just a horrible matchup for him. And I don't think Masvidal is good either. Like, I think he's gonna destroy guys who are ranked 10 to 12 who are strikers.
Masvidal.
Masvidal.
No.
But he is, man. Like, people like... Okay, there's quite a few bad matchups in the welterweight division because there's a shitload of wrestlers. But someone like Vicente Luque, who's ranked higher than him, that'd be a fucking great brawl. That'd be a fantastic fight. The two of them are going to fucking...
I've heard of him, but I don't know.
Well, he's not... There's no way that fight goes 5 rounds
After that performance, Masvidal would be lucky to
He'll fight McGregor next. I would like him to as well.
When is McGregor going to fight it? You keep bringing up McGregor.
In 3 months, when Masvidal's ready. He can come up to 155.
Well, no, what I was going to say before is, unfortunately, McGregor and the Floyd fight, when he made all that money, and that was around the same time that the whiskey money came in.
Exactly, and that's another thing. I think
proper 10, proper 12.
Proper 12. He got the Floyd money, which that's what put him over that.
His heart's not in it. He sells it like his heart's in it. But let's talk about the 273. Coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You got two men's title fights. You got
ready.
Jan Sterling. I'm ready for that shit.
That I know we talked about it last week briefly. We were talking about best fighters in the UFC, and I mean
Jan's top 5.
I think it was a little premature for me to put Jan like all time. That's
even
obviously
close. No,
he's
never defended the belt. He's never defended the belt.
I don't know if I've seen a more dangerous fighter
polished as fuck on the feet.
And
he's so polished
everywhere.
He can. Well, I mean,
he can fight. He's very good on the
he's good. He's good on top.
He's good on top. How often have you seen him on the ground?
I've never seen him on the ground. That's the thing.
That's my point. Nobody knows. He's very.
That guy is the slickest. Fist fighter.
One of the best back roundhouse guys. Like I've seen that before. Like that's a well established move, but like the way he'll come in, feint a left hand.
He's just so slick on the feet. He's a fucking boxer,
He'll
man.
swing around with that spinning back fist and just crack
He's a boxer that knows how to use the MMA cage. He's so slick in the cage. I'm a huge fan. He's a killer in there. He's a killer. He's going to destroy it. He's going to destroy Sterling.
I mean, to be fair,
who's the other men's title
He's already Zombie Volkanovski.
Zombie involved.
But well, the Jan Sterling fight's the undercard. That's the that's the co-main.
Yeah. And you know what? Chimaev and Burns is going to be a good fight. Because this is Chimaev's first proper test. It's his first proper test. I mean, Gilbert Burns is still a top 5 guy. He literally sat Usman down last year. He's the only guy who's dropped to Usman.
He didn't drop Usman? I think I'm wrong. He didn't drop. Nobody's dropped Usman.
No, he rocked him, though.
Colby Covington is the closest Usman's ever been to dropped or taken down or anything.
I think it's still a very good acid
you're
test
one
for
of
Chimaev.
Those people.
It's still very good for Chimaev.
It is, but you're one of those people. I know you are
I'm a huge Usman fan.
He's unarguably an incredible
fighter. He's pound
fighter.
right now, easy.
That's your opinion. That is your opinion, Edward.
Who can touch him right now? Active right now. And we're not talking John Jones because he ain't fought for 2-3 years.
In his division, I think he's clearly the winner.
He's ahead of everyone. He's the best pound for pound.
What? Let me finish. What I was saying is the fact that he's been in the UFC for as long as he was, and him fighting Covington was his first time ever being he had a perfect takedown defense. Record as far as just he
can strike as well though.
No. I know that, but you don't find it insane that as long as he's been fighting in MMA, because
he's a freak of nature.
Been taken down.
That man is a freak of nature.
That is the points aside. There's a lot of freak of nature athletes in the UFC or in MMA in general.
He's a freak of nature fighter.
He's never been taken down.
He's by far the best pound for pound in the UFC.
I like Adesanya better.
No way.
No way. I like Adesanya better.
Way. Adesanya went up to 205 and got fucking battered by Blachowicz.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens every time someone goes to a different. If Usman put on
weight and went up and fought Adesanya, not that it would happen because they're both Nigerian. He wouldn't. Usman would destroy Adesanya.
If Usman went to 185,
he'd destroy him. He's a fucking horrible matchup for Adesanya.
He's like 7 inches shorter.
Yeah, but he's a horrible matchup for him because it won't matter. Because he'll make it dirty. He'll dirty box him and he'll fucking wrestle fuck him.
You have such distaste for Adesanya. I do not even know why.
He's just
Israel Adesanya's not that good.
There's just no one at middleweight right now. Who's at middleweight to even test him?
That's not the point.
He went up to 205 and got battered by Jan Blachowicz.
Which it was his own mistake. Blachowicz is very good.
He just lost the belt to Glover Teixeira, so he's not that good, is he? Jiri Prochazka is the truth in that division.
I can't say anything about that, but I mean, you're saying Jan Blachowicz is just bad.
He's not
Jan
bad,
Blachowicz is a very good fighter.
He's not bad, but I just don't. I think Adesanya is the most overrated fighter in the UFC.
Also, when you look at the UFC, that's the biggest jump there is. There's no bigger jump from 185 to all the other.
Welterweight is 35 pounds, 70 to 85, but it's similar. It's
70 to 80. That's 15 pounds.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My bad. Yeah. No, you're right.
85 to 205. That's 20 pounds.
No, you're
right. There's no other jump.
It is a big jump. And I don't think. And he was obviously
as far as a weight difference between two different divisions.
And his power doesn't translate. Do you know what I mean?
He's never been an incredibly powerful fighter.
No.
Yeah, but
his power doesn't translate at all. That's the thing.
He is John Jones in a middleweight body. He literally.
John Jones is so much better wrestler, man. John Jones has more power and he's a better wrestler. John Jones is the best.
John Jones never been incredibly powerful.
He's still knocking boys out for fun.
He does that by slowly.
And he can wrestle.
He slowly whittles and Muay Thais people down to nothing. That's what John Jones does.
He can wrestle you.
He can, but they are very. You're not saying Adesanya and John Jones are similar fighters.
I think John Jones is. They're
both tall, lanky. Long arm strikers that will just you're never get. I mean, you're very rarely getting either one of them on the ground. John Jones, yes, has a better ground game. John Jones can't stop doing cocaine and hitting people with his fucking car. So
fair play to that.
Yeah, I don't mean to talk shit, but I mean John Jones not fighting anything important in the UFC for the foreseeable future.
It's a difficult trend to break. It's difficult.
But Adesanya is an absolute animal. I think
he's wildly overrated. I think if there's anyone in the middleweight division, I'm trying to think who's in the middleweight division, man. I don't even know.
I haven't looked at it, but I mean,
it's not really many killers
as far as dominance in the. You just said Usman has nobody in his division either.
Chimaev will be fighting him after this fight.
Well, also we just talked about this. How many good fighters has Chimaev fought?
Well, the first one will be this. Well, not good, but his first proper
his
test.
First real
proper test.
Contest.
And Luque is a fucking animal.
But as a Chimaev, I'm a big Chimaev supporter. He's really good. He's incredibly talented, but he's not. He's 10-0. He's only had 10 fights in the UFC.
No, 10 in mixed martial art professional. He's had like 3 in the UFC.
Well, okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know.
He's 10-0 in just mixed martial arts. He's only fought 10 professional mixed martial arts fights and has fought nobody.
He's got all of the tools, He's got all the tools.
He does.
He's a better striker than Usman, and he's just as strong as him.
But I would like to see him fight a good fighter.
I'm excited.
Nobody's
that Gilbert Burns fight is going to be great. It's going to be a really good card. We'll wrap it up by saying
really good card.
Check that shit out. UFC 273. Yeah. I think it's March 26th.
It's coming up.
I think it's the 26th.
Thank you guys for joining us. Unfortunately, we'd love to talk all night about all this stuff. I know you guys love hearing about, but we got to call it a night. Thank you for joining us. Remy, do you want to do the little plug? I'm not as good as you are at it.
Okay, yeah, guys. Is this football? Every fucking Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on YouTube. But you can always catch the show by about 5 p.m. Kind of, sort of.
Wednesdays, yeah.
On Wednesdays, and you can get the podcast wherever you get your podcast drip, and of course the reboot on the YouTube. And make sure you're listening to They Call Us the Breeze every Thursday,
wonderful
6:30 p.m.
podcast.
Eastern Standard Time, and catch our show every Monday, guys. Great episode again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to start sharing it on Facebook, so you know.
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to get on the social media.
We're going to move over. So if we do share this one on Facebook, we appreciate you guys checking out.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We really do appreciate it.
Well, good night, everybody.
All love, guys.
Y'all have a great night. Love you.